Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I need a fidget thing.
You need something to fidget with? Why don't you get something to fidget with?
Well, I have shit to fidget with, but it like makes noises.
Oh yeah, you fidget with that eraser pen, right?
Well, no, I broke the fuck out of that, so I don't have that anymore.
Okay.
But like I have the remote for the TV you gave me. I like play with the back of it, which is why like. But also I also have
Oh my
cards. I don't
god.
know if I want to shuffle cards while like standing. I might just fucking bite the bullet and sit down.
I've hit the record button, so.
You're going. Okay.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of the Friendgame podcast. I am your host, Alex, otherwise known as Avenine, and I have one of my homies.
The OG homie, I think you mean to say.
The OG homie. You're right, actually. Ian, or Jabba.
Jabba 2000.
Ooh.
The OG, the original.
Are you the original?
2001, yeah, the best one.
Okay. So, like, how many of you were there?
That's classified.
Okay. All right. I guess we should probably talk about what we're gonna cover in this, huh?
Yeah.
Probably just we're just looking at general gaming stuff, things that we like to play, maybe some gaming news that we find interesting.
Yeah, we between the two of us have a bunch of different interests, but also some that are the same. So there'll be some times where I'm talking about new magic stuff, like we are going to be doing a little bit later today, that Alex might not have heard of, and then he's going to be talking about gacha game stuff most likely, and I'm like, what's that? Yeah, when new stuff comes out, we'll try to talk about it if we're interested in it, stuff like that.
All right. It's a little bit of background behind us. We've known each other for how long now?
Oh my goodness.
I'm trying to look at my clock right now to see what date it is.
Well, you graduated high school in 2014.
2014.
And we met before that, so it was like 2009?
2009?
2010, something like that?
That long?
Yeah.
Wow.
If you graduated in 2014, that means you started high school in 2010, and we met a year before that. So yeah, it was 2009, 2010 time.
Wow, we've known each other for a while now.
We're like actually boomers now.
Are we? Oh man. Not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah.
So you grew up playing with games though, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We were just talking about this the other day. I grew up. My dad had an SNES, a Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
So I played the heck out of Super Metroid, Super Mario World, all those games. And I didn't get my first PlayStation until a year after PlayStation 3 came out, and I had PS3 was my first one. So I never played any PS2 classics or anything. So okay. make fun of me all you want.
I mean, you grew up playing essentially Nintendo systems all the time.
Yeah, Nintendo. A lot of GameCube. I played every Zelda game 10 times each.
Yeah, I had a dad that was had to have the latest system. So when I grew up, he gave me. We had the PlayStation, Nintendo 64 already. My dad's family had an SNES, and I stayed over there a lot, so I did play that a lot as well. But I essentially grew up playing on a Game Boy for at least my early years.
I never owned a Game Boy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, never owned a Game Boy.
I actually had the original and then ended up picking up a Game Boy Color.
I played the heck out of Pokemon on an emulator on my phone during high school instead of paying attention. Does that count?
I mean, there was a lot of people doing that at that time, though. You remember that?
Yeah, there's the modded versions where you play I don't even remember what it was called. It was ultra platinum, and it was just every legendary that had been created up until that point was in the game.
Yeah, I do remember that.
I remember there was a spot in one of the islands where there was a master ball behind a plant, and you could go pick it up, reload, and then you could just like stack master balls to just catch everything.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, that is the reason why I've only read like one Shakespeare plays, because I was doing that instead.
I mean, there's only one that I know about, so. What, dude? Anyway, yeah, but I played a bunch of games growing up. I had everything that wasn't an Xbox, essentially. So,
right.
Modern day wise. So when the PS2 came out, we got the first generation PS2, and then I broke that. So then we got another PS2. We had a GameCube on release. We also had a Wii, and then we got a PS3.
Wii was so cool.
My dad actually got a PS3 for $20, which was hilarious.
Huh.
You remember that? No?
No, I don't remember that.
So my dad one day walked up to me, and he asked me, hey, there's a raffle going on for a PS3 at work. Do you want to pitch in? And I was like, because like, you know, I was still like, I think I was still like a freshman at the time. I was like, I don't know. And then come Christmas time, when all the kids are opening the presents, he just opens up a PS3 in front of us. And I'm like, what?
What?
He's like, yeah, you remember that raffle I asked you about? Yeah, I won that.
That's amazing, actually.
So you got a PS3 for $20. That's
Did I ever tell you the story of how I got my PS3 too?
No, I don't think I have.
It was, I don't remember what year it was, a long time ago. When, like, it was a little bit after PlayStation 3 came out.
Yeah.
It was Christmas time, and we're like at my parents' place, and we get done with all of our presents. And my dad's like, "All right, we're all done. I'm gonna go get like a garbage bag from downstairs, and we'll clean up all the mess, whatever." He goes downstairs, and then my mom's like, "Okay, kids, come and me and my two sisters." She's like, "Kids, come here. I got presents without dad, and I was really proud of myself, so I wanted to show you before you saw." So she got out these other little presents, and they were PlayStation 3 games. I don't remember what they were. And we were like, oh, Mom, good try, but we don't have a PS3. These are the wrong ones. We have like a GameCube or whatever we had. And she was like all bummed, like, oh, dang it, I thought I was doing a good job. I was wanted to do it without dad because he always gets all the presents, and I don't know what kind of games you guys like. And I thought I was doing a good job. Dang it. And she was all sad or whatever. So she's like, well, here, take these to your dad, and you can like take it back to the store later. We can get new ones for whatever you have or whatever. So we're like, all right, cool. We grab the games, we go downstairs, and my dad is already playing on the PS3 that he had on the TV downstairs. And he's like, oh, hey, what's up, guys?
Oh my god. That's actually really funny.
They just like big bamboozled us, and I'm like, what? He's like playing Mortal Kombat versus DCU, and at the time I didn't realize that game was total dog shit awful. And I was like, this is the greatest thing ever.
That's actually amazing.
It was pretty funny, yeah.
That reminds me of the time that for my Aunt Tammy, we got her DDR, Dance Dance Revolution pads, and the game for her birthday. And what my parents did was they gave her a little box that just on the roof of the box said, hey, go hunt down Alex for your gift. And my job was to just go and hide it in her basement before she knew anything. Because I think, if I remember correctly, like, her sisters took her out so that I could come into the house and hide it in their basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So I had to act like I didn't know anything. I was like, what are you talking about?
That's pretty funny.
But yeah, no. We've been playing games for a while. I mean,
yeah, a bunch of different stuff.
We've been playing games together for a while too.
Yeah.
I got you. I think it's funny that I got you into Magic, and now you're just like, still really into Magic.
Got me into Magic in high school on accident. You got me into Destiny on accident too, because you brought your entire setup over to my house and then just soloed Crota in my living room. I was like, this game looks kind of cool, and I got into it and I was playing it, and then I remember I was like, hey, is there any way that I can just like buy planetary materials? And you're like, yeah, you need the House of Wolves ESC, and I'm like, all right, bet. So I just bought it.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Because I did not want to fucking go run around Mars and pick up rocks. Like, Missed me with that.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, I got into Destiny 1 right after House of Wolves, and then yeah, we've been playing that and Destiny 2 ever since. We'll talk about that a little bit later today also.
What, dude? You don't want to talk about your excitement for the Destiny
My
2?
favorite game, Destiny 2.
That's your current favorite game, dude, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's the reason why we're called Friend Games, because that's the only reason why we play it.
I mean, Destiny's doing some good things, I think. I think the content is just slow, but
it's okay.
It's okay.
Do we want to hop into that, our first topic then?
Our first topic of Destiny? Our excitement?
Sure.
Our history with Destiny? Yeah?
Sure.
I've been playing Destiny since like week 1 of the release. It's crazy for me to think that I've been playing that game for so long at this point. You know?
What, 8? 8 years?
No, that was...
Or was it longer?
I think... Is it 8 years? Oh my god. I thought the game came out in like 20...
That was 2014 it came out.
Okay.
It was 7. September.
Yeah.
So coming up on 7.
Yeah, it was really funny too because I came home from work one day and my dad was like, hey, I'm surprised that you haven't gotten like Destiny 2. Or you haven't gotten Destiny because that looked like a game that you would like since we played a lot of Borderlands, right? And I was like, at first I was like, I don't know, because it doesn't play like Borderlands. And then I thought about it for a couple days, and I ran to GameStop and I just bought the game and started playing it. And instantly I was hooked. I was like, oh man, this game is so cool. Like, I get space magic and I can throw giant purple bombs at people. Like, this is so cool.
I remember when I first saw like a TV ad for the game, I thought it was a Star Wars game because it was in space and I saw people riding on what looked like speeder bikes and I'm like, that's weird. And then I just never off my radar off at that point.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Because I didn't have an Xbox like we were talking, so I didn't play Halo, so I didn't know what Bungie was. So
yeah, and I kept up with gaming news, so when I had heard that the original creators of Halo were making this, this looter shooter essentially, I was like kind of skeptical about it because when I thought looter shooter, I thought Borderlands 2 because that was kind of like the definitive looter shooter at that time, right? So yeah, I mean, I don't think we started playing Destiny together until what?
I don't even
Taken
know.
King? Because I think that's when I got that's when I bought my PS4, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah, because I have the Taken King edition of the PS4.
I remember because I remember my freshman year of college. We were doing Taken Kings and
we were doing
raids and stuff when I was there. Yeah. I remember there was one day you guys were helping me get Thorn because I really wanted to have it for my first Crota, and they're like, "You don't Thorn's not good in PvE. Don't, it doesn't matter." I'm like, "No, I need an exotic for my first raid, guys."
Oh!
You remember that?
Yes, I do. And then you ended up getting Hawkmoon.
And then I got Hawkmoon.
Yeah, you got Hawkmoon that raid. I do remember that. That's so funny.
I was useless. I didn't do anything. But that's how it goes. RNG, just be lucky for it.
Yeah, just be lucky, dude. Friend game. We're here for the friend game, not the loot.
Mm-hmm. And now here we are, 7 years later. Destiny 2 is in a weird spot.
I mean, Destiny 2 has come a long way, though. Compared to release. You remember release Destiny 2, man?
Yeah.
I did not play that game a lot.
The dark times.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm in the small minority that didn't mind the double primary as it still is better now, but I wasn't I'm not touching this game. This game's dog shit. I didn't mind it as much as other people did, but I do agree that it's better now.
Yeah. I did not play the first year of Destiny 2 for a long time, and I got the game for free. One of my friends worked at GameStop, and he's like, "Yeah, I got free codes for Destiny 2 if you want one," and I got it. I got one of those, and I did not play the game for like that year.
Yeah, because the first two DLCs, like Warmind and Osiris, like you want strikes, all right? That's it. That's all you got with strikes. Like, the strikes are just story missions.
Yeah,
so,
I was gonna say, like I vividly remember. I finally come back to the expansion for one day, finish the story, and then we queue up into a strike together. And right at the end of the strike, I just like pause. I'm like, "Hey, is this just a story mission?" And
I'm like, "Yep, that's it."
And then instantly, I just quit out the game. I'm like, "All right, well, see you later."
Yeah.
Oh my god. But
yeah, those were the dark times. Those were the before times.
Yeah, and then that summer was when we really actually got back into Destiny.
Yeah, that was Forsaken. It was after that. So.
Well, Forsaken was announced, and you were doing a lot of raids with the current clan we're with.
Yeah. Shoutouts,
Luxo. They're I mean, that was really cool that they essentially allowed you to fill in a slot for them.
Yeah, because we had the one mutual friend, Lul, one of our buddies, and then we kind of just got absorbed into big ol' fam of dudes.
Yeah. Our old like raid group wasn't consistent in the times that we wanted to raid, and we really wanted to, we wanted to do raids more consistently, so we ended up going over to Luxa, and I mean we still chill and hang out with those guys today.
Oh yeah, less Destiny, but more other things.
Yeah.
The raids are still fun. The raids will keep me coming back if the rest of the game is bleh.
Yeah, I mean
unless the rest of the raids are just D1 raids, and then I'm gonna be kind of mad.
Yeah, I hope they don't do that. I'm sure they'll probably like try on a yearly cycle to at least bring one of them back, and then make it. I
just want some new stuff. Bringing old stuff back is fine, but it better not be that instead of new stuff.
Right. Speaking of
my last point was just gonna be like a lot of the exotics and stuff that they bring back. Like, there's a lot of D1 exotics in D2 now, but a lot of the new exotics are fairly unique and cool. So they're not necessarily top tier must-haves, have to run in PvE or PvP, but they're at least cool.
I think it's interesting that it's pretty cool that every season, essentially, we've gotten a new exotic, right? Or two exotics, like exotic weapons, which is pretty crazy to me. That like they're bringing that many exotic weapons into the game at a time.
There's a lot of items in the game.
Yeah, because
like 2 armor pieces per class. Like, that's still like 8 exotic items basically.
Yeah,
at least.
Per
Plus,
season.
if there's a raid one, which there isn't all the time, because raids aren't that frequent, but that's still like close to 10 exotics a season.
Yeah. So it's pretty crazy that they're still able to churn out exotics like that. So, and they're all unique. They all have their own quirk. They don't collide with anything else.
Except when we get First Curse and Ace is already a thing, then that's gonna be a little Monka W.
First Curse
you remember that gun?
First Curse is a 110 though, isn't it?
I don't remember.
Well, it'd be considered a 120 now.
120s are the thing now, so.
Yeah. Destiny.
It at least spawned some Destiny the role-playing game fun, though.
Yeah. Oh man, dude, yesterday's session was so much fun, actually.
It was very fun, yeah.
For all of you guys, we started a Destiny D&D campaign about 2 months ago? Is that right?
Something like that, yeah. We've had like 4 or 5 sessions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a home brew that one of our buddies kind of worked with. I think he said it's like Pathfinder 2.0 modified-ish to have more like gunplay and stuff. I think is what I remember him saying.
I probably blanked out when he was saying that.
Yeah, so For those who know what that means, Pathfinder 2.0, modified obviously to be a lot more gun oriented, just because it's based around Destiny, and that's what Destiny is. It's nice gunplay the game.
Nice gunplay the game.
Yeah, then we had to change around with like the class system, obviously. So there's Titan Hunter Warlock with their own unique things, and then the races are the standard Destiny races with Exo, Awoken Human with their own race benefits and stuff. It's super cool. It's very customizable, just because for like all of us who are playing in the campaign are like big Destiny people. So when we're like, I want to do this because it's cool in Destiny, how can we translate that to like work with D&D rules? And we're all just like making stuff up and memeing the whole time. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. This is one of our. Well, this is gonna start catching up to one of our longer sessions we've ever had, though. D&D
we are unlucky with our D&D sessions though, because we spend like, yo, let's do this. Oh, this is gonna be so cool. I spent like 2 months working on a character. Then we have 1 or 2 sessions, and then we're like, yeah, real life is a thing. So
I think our longest running session was the anime session that I had.
That too. Yeah, that
right?
too. When we ran with Fate, Fate system.
The Fate system, because I think we did that like.
We did a handful of
almost
sessions
bi-weekly, I think. We tried to do it like at least once a month to bi-weekly or something like that.
Yeah. That was also very fun.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Like just the random nature of being able to do whatever you want in the Fate system was a lot of fun, especially for like an anime campaign.
One of our future episodes here should be D&D focused, where we talk about all our campaigns and ask for ideas and stuff, because that would be fun. I think
that would
go
be
back
fun
through
too.
all those.
Oh man, dude, you go back through those memories. That'd be hilarious.
Too many memes, actually. The meme count's too high.
Dude, I mean, we're memeing in our new campaign anyway.
It's supposed to be very serious, like multi-world like conflicts and stuff, and yeah, my character is just like derp derp.
Your character's derp derp, and my character is a warlock that's just nerding out over Paracostal.
Yeah, actually.
My ghost is a meme too. I purposely made my ghost a meme.
I'm the dumb Titan, which is accurate for me if you know me, so. Sorry to be the typecast player, but here we are.
But I mean, aren't Titans all like that? Bam,
No? Are you being racist right now?
No, I'm being warlockist.
You're a classist right now?
Yeah, I'm being classist. That's what it is.
Wow. Imagine. Go read a book.
What? Reading a book? Come on. We read data pads now?
Oh. Fair. I busted a data pad over my knee, so.
That caused us all to die.
Yeah. Rest in peace, D-Boy, man. I miss my buddy. My only Titan friend.
We originally had 5, and then there were 4. That was was that the first or second? I think that was session 2, right?
It was session 2. Yeah, 2.
Yeah, that was session 2 when I actually was there. I do remember that.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yep.
And that was the first official session, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, with all of us there. Yeah.
Wow.
We're gonna have to do a separate one just on that, because we could talk about that for 2 hours.
Yeah, dude, you're right. Man. New stuff. I guess I can talk about my addiction to Genshin Impact for the past. Oh god, dude, how long have I been playing the game now? When did that game come out? I don't September?
Even know.
I've been playing that game for a while now.
September 28th, 2020.
Oh my
Almost
god.
a year.
LOL actually, you got me into that. I didn't even know Genshin Impact existed until LOL mentioned it to me.
Yeah.
LOL and I were playing PSO2 for a while, right? And he's like, hey, have you heard of Genshin Impact? Like, it looks pretty cool. It looks like Breath of the Wild. I was like, anime gacha game with Breath of the Wild? I don't know how I feel about that. And then I went to go and look at it, and I was like, oh, it's gorgeous. And I've been playing since. I think yesterday marks the second day that I haven't logged in consistently. Out of the entire 7-month period that I've been playing this game at this point.
Yeah, 7 or 8.
Oh my god, dude. I've been playing the game too much.
Wow. Imagine not being dedicated and playing every day. Wow.
Wow. New update looks cool though, I will admit. Is it gonna save the game as we speak in the Destiny community?
Well, I mean, every game that has like updates like that, everyone's always going to be like, "Oh, this game's trash, but this is going to save it," and then it'll come out, and then the game's still trash, and they'll wait for the next patch to say, "Oh, this one's going to like." It's just going to keep happening over and over. They're going to do it for the content.
I think I don't think it'll save it. I'm happy that looks like they're trying to skew some new events into more of player skill or player team compositions and stuff.
I was gonna say like mini games. Like what's quote unquote wrong with the game that they need to fix or save the game? Like I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah, because you played it for a little bit.
Very little, yeah, very little.
I remember a bunch of our friends played it for a little bit.
Yeah, because the same thing was told to me that it looks like Breath of the Wild, but it's an anime, and I'm like Breath of the Wild and anime. Give it a shot. It's also it's a gacha game though, and it's not exactly my cup of tea. So
yeah, gacha games are rough, especially because this is really the first gacha game that's kind of in a different genre,
Yeah, because I wouldn't compare it to other gacha games that I've played briefly, like the mobile ones that we've played or whatever. Right. It's definitely not the same vein as those.
Yeah, and a lot of the content is kind of skewed towards mobile players, since mobile is kind of their big cup of tea, right? So, or where a lot of their player base is.
Right. I just think it's easy for gacha games are generally a game where like you want to play a little bit every day.
Yeah.
And that's easier, or that's not easy, but playing a little bit every day is easier to do on mobile, because if you don't need to be home to do it, and you just need 10 or 15 minutes, you can just do it whenever, wherever, and that's easy to do on mobile. So
yeah. So a lot of the player base that really likes to go hardcore and stuff have been asking for more difficult content and stuff, but it's hard for them to implement more difficult content when a large majority of their player base is mobile, because you can't.
It's hard for the company to incentivize playing the stuff that not everyone's gonna play, or making the stuff that everyone's gonna play,
and especially justifying like rewards behind that, right?
Yeah,
because like we had the same issue up until I think this last season in Destiny 2, where it's like Grandmaster Nightfalls. Oh well.
They exist, but like why?
Yeah, they exist, but like why?
What do I get for doing them? Yeah.
Right. And now they're starting to implement, things to incentivize
the adept weapons and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And the Nightfall exclusive weapons too. So I'm just hoping for the new region, really. Like that's what I'm holding out for, because I think that
more map is generally good.
Yeah.
More stuff to explore.
More exploration, because I haven't done a lot of exploration since I don't know. I want to say like 3 months into the game now, or since like the new year started essentially. So every day's just been me running around doing whatever I need to and then getting off. But I don't know. I'm hopeful for when they do release the new region. Plus, all their characters too. All the new characters that they come out with are great. Like they're all unique. They're all gorgeous.
I was gonna say that's something that does look fun to do in the game. Is just all the characters just like you feel cool doing the combos and the synergies with all the elements and stuff. That part is super cool.
Yeah, that is I like that part of the game. That's my favorite part. Is just making team compositions and stuff about it.
I just like it's a different form of deck building at that point. You're just trying to find synergies and stuff that works well together.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
Man, dude, you had the perfect transition of deck building.
Boom! Speaking of deck building, we're gonna talk about what I think is cool.
Yeah, what's on your radar here, man?
Well, as at time of recording this, Strixhaven for Magic the Gathering is upon release for normal paper release. So I've seen a bunch of other content creators coming up with their like best new cards, best commanders, best legendaries, best whatever. And Alex and I primarily EDH commander players. So we like to look at, new legendary creatures when they come out to see if there's like new decks that might be added to the format with new legendaries, stuff like that. But I decided to not do that. So I looked at the upcoming Strixhaven set, not the commander deck, the 2020 commander decks, because that's a different video basically. And I looked at my top 5 non-legendary creatures or non-legendary cards that I think are going to be cool and interesting in Commander.
Okay.
I do have some honorable mentions also. That like one of them is there's a new Elder Dragon cycle for each of the 2 color combos in Strixhaven. So those are in here too, but they're not my top 5 because that's not what I was going for. I'm going to share my screen with you, Mr. Alex, so we can get the cards on screen.
Yeah,
here.
I've never seen any of these cards. I have not looked at Magic stuff in the longest time, so I have no idea what I'm looking at here.
Can you see him?
I can see him.
Okay, number 1. You ready?
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce this. Auric, whatever. Auric Lore Mage. He is 2 and 2 black, I guess I'll say, for a creature human warlock, 3/3. He has a tap ability, and it says, search your library for a card and put it into your graveyard, then shuffle. If it's an instant or sorcery card, put a 1/1 counter on Auric Lore Mage. And when I read this just says tap, entomb. Cast entomb every turn.
Wow. Wait, you search your library for a tap
or a
ability?
card.
What?
Yeah, just for any card, it's just a tutor. And it's like, you technically don't reveal it, but if it's in your graveyard, like, your opponent can see it. So that's basically it. But this, like, Entomb, for people that don't know, it's a spell for 1 black, and it says, search your library for a card, put it in your graveyard. And this does that, and he gets bigger, and you can do it every turn. obviously when he's alive. So this is just super good in any graveyard deck.
All right.
And any graveyard deck. And this the second half of this where it says instant or sorcery card, he gets a 1/1 counter, so you could do creatures if you want to like dredge or reanimate kind of stuff. But if you're in multiple colors here, you're in like Rakdos, let's say you have red, like there's really good red flashback cards.
Right.
So this is basically just tutoring for your big flashback cards because they're just in your graveyard. So Entomb with legs every turn seems pretty good to me. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm scared because I feel like we're gonna see this in a Muldrotha deck sometime in the future here.
100% this is in Muldrotha. For sure. And this is even like if you're doing Rakdos and you have like Anger in your deck.
Oh yeah.
If Anger's already in the graveyard, you plop this guy down and just do it because Anger gives all your creatures haste if he's in the graveyard.
Yeah.
So you could put him in the graveyard with this, and then or if he's already in your graveyard, you could just plop this guy down, instantly tutor.
Right.
Seems kind of good. I don't know. He's like, it is, I guess if you don't have Anger or some way to give this guy haste, it's kind of slow. But even if it's kind of slow, it's still like, oh, I have a 3/3 that it's a must answer. Otherwise, I just get to do stuff.
Right.
So, like, this eats a removal spell, and then you, like, can cast something else, something like that.
Right.
This tickled me fancy.
All right.
Number 2, Storm Kiln Artist. 3 and a red for a Dwarf Shaman. He's a 2/2. He gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control. And then he synergizes with himself. He has Magecraft, and it says whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, create a treasure token. This has already seen some infinite combos in like Historic and Standard on MTG Arena that I've seen. It already, because if you have mana rocks or like there's a bunch of new Strixhaven cards that like you can discard to make a treasure, things like that. Treasure is kind of like a thing. This goes infinite, super easy, just because you cast a 1-mana spell, get a treasure token, and then there's a dragon that came out, not this set but the set before, that says all your treasures, they tap for 2.
Oh.
And one of the elder dragons that we're going to talk about, I have him up here on my list. He synergizes with treasures too, and he's in blue-red, so this goes into that deck 100%. But this guy not only makes mana for you, he's also a threat too, because when you keep making treasures, if you have ways to like keep copying spells, you keep making treasures, and he just gets huge.
Right, he just gets absolutely beefed up.
So like if you're in red, there's a lot of like red storm kind of shenanigans you can do with making mana, like free mana with this. Basically, if you're in multiple colors, there's even more possibilities. There's I don't remember the name of it. It's a Timur copying spells deck. It was one of the old commander decks.
Yeah,
Calamax the Stormshire is what it's called. He's like the dinosaur boy.
He came out last year, right?
Yeah, and he likes copying spells, and he's in red, so this is probably in that 100% because it's just like free mana for doing stuff.
Yeah, for doing the thing that you already do.
Yeah, so like if you're doing like one mana cantrips, this is 100% in that. You go infinite with this easy, especially in Commander. So next one. This has already been an all-star in Historic that I've seen because of the decks that are in that, but this is Flame Scroll Celebrant. This is a dual-faced card, so I'll have to read both here. Flame Scroll Celebrant, front side is 1 and a red for a creature human shaman. He's a 2/1. He says, whenever an opponent activates an ability that isn't a mana ability, Flame Scroll Celebrant deals 1 damage to that player. He also has Pseudo Fire Breathing for 1 and a red. You can give him +2/+0 until end of turn.
Wow. +2/+0.
So, yeah, so it's 2 mana +2/+0. So it's, similar to fire breathing or whatever. But the first part is what tickles me, especially in Commander. Let's just go through the ones I can list off the top of my head of abilities that aren't mana abilities. Every fetch land, people just deal damage to themselves now. Steve. If you sacrifice Steve, Sakura Tribe Elder to get a basic, all right, you're taking damage for that. Wayfarer's Bauble, yeah, you're taking damage for that. Sensei's Divining Top, people are going to do that in EDH several times a turn probably, so they're going to take damage from that.
That's on any ability.
It's any activated ability. Or it's any ability that isn't tapping for mana. So like, you want to sacrifice your Burnished Heart? Okay, you're taking damage. You want to activate any Planeswalker? You're taking damage. Like Aetherflux Reservoir, Arbor Elf is technically it's the elf. It's referred to as a mana dork, but its ability is untap target forest.
Right.
But that's not a mana ability, so you take damage for that. Any sack ability like Viscera Seer or any of those, you're gonna take damage for. Expedition Map, like all these like the Wanderer's Compass, all that stuff. This is just gonna ping people. You're gonna deal at least 20 damage with this card on turn 2, just because people are gonna sack Steve and fetch lands.
Ninja abilities, ninjutsu abilities.
Ninjutsu is not a mana ability. Yeah, so that would work. And we're talking about this, and oh wait, this card has a separate side, by the way.
Oh, wait.
So now we can read this. So I guess if you're in EDH, you have 1 copy of this. You're gonna do this or this, unless you're getting stuff back from the graveyard.
Right.
But this card is also good. It's the backside is Revel in Silence for white. It's an instant, and it says your opponents can't cast spells or activate Planeswalker's abilities this turn.
Huh.
And it's your opponents. It's not target opponent. So it's everyone.
It's everyone.
This side is, I think, less good in Commander. This card is super good in Historic because I don't know if you know the Sultai Ultimatum card, Emergent Ultimatum.
Nope.
You cast it, and then you get to search your library for 3 mono-colored cards. Your opponent chooses one of them to exile, and then you get to cast the other 2 for free.
What?
But if you do this in response, they cast their ultimatum, which is like a 7 mana spell.
Uh-huh.
They pick their spells, exile one, and you do this in response, and then they just don't cast it.
They can't cast it. Okay.
So this is super good. Like this is 4 of in every. Or you have 4 of these in your 75 in Historic 100% just for this side.
Uh-huh.
This side's sometimes good, but this side is why I like it in EDH. This side is really just because it like I said before, you're gonna deal 20 damage with this card, and it's a 2-drop.
Right. That's just gonna be that annoying pinging thing.
Yeah, and it's like if you're in red-white, you're probably an aggressive deck, and every damage counts at that point.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be super good. Probably not a must-of, like have to have if you're in these colors, but very good in the right deck. It's very fun. It's like you either ignore it and it deals damage to you, but like you can like hit people for like 10 with this card.
Yeah, you can mana sink into it.
You can mana sink that, and in EDH, mana sink's good.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. This card's awesome. Culling Ritual. 2 black-green for a sorcery. And it says, destroy each non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less, and then you add a black or a green to your mana pool for each permanent destroyed this way. So, like, you can, like, turn 2, turn 3, destroy everyone's mana dorks and mana rocks, and then you also ramp.
Wow. That's just a board wipe?
Each non-land permanent, so it's everybody's creatures and everybody's, artifacts and stuff. So, like, if they have, like Mana Crypt, Mana Vault, Arcane Signet, Soul Ring, yeah, you don't have any, and then I get 4 mana.
Yeah, that's actually really annoying.
Even if everyone in your game goes, like, turn 1 Soul Ring Signet, you get 6 mana out of this card.
Right. And that's really good.
So not only do you put all your opponents behind on mana, this does hit your own thing. To be clear, so you're gonna have to play around that a little bit. This hits your own things, but if you hit like 6 targets with this, you put all your opponents behind on mana and play a 6-drop on turn 2 or 3.
Yeah, and that's really good.
If you're in these colors, like you
out
could
mana
play.
Costs well, if you're playing in green, you're gonna have more land.
You're gonna have more lands, yeah. So you wouldn't necessarily need artifact.
So like usually at that point, you're probably playing this on like turn 3 or turn 4, right?
Yeah, like if you play your own mana rock, you can get it out on turn like 3. You're gonna hit your own mana rock, but then still have extra mana from destroying stuff.
Have the extra mana. You've probably ramped out on turn 2 too to have an additional land out, right? So I see that as a pretty good card to run in those colors in black and green.
Oh yeah, you play your Marin Clan of Neltoth right after this, and then play like a 2-drop or something. But it's a board wipe. If anyone has any early game creatures, they just don't, and you play 2 things.
Yep.
And they're behind on mana. So, and even something I was just thinking of now, you're in black, so if you destroy your own creatures, you could do some reanimator shenanigans.
This is probably going to go in Muldrotha as well.
This is in Muldrotha 100%.
Oh, goodness.
All the Muldrotha players rejoice. And I haven't even talked about any blue cards.
Is it Timepiece? Is that right? I don't remember the actual card name, but it's like you tap it to mill yourself for 2. You know what I'm talking about? Because I'm pretty sure that's...
I don't know.
I think that's like a 1-drop.
It's like Millstone or something?
Something like that.
Whatever. Culling Ritual's good, is what I'm saying. The only drawback I can see maybe is that it's sorcery speed, but since you get mana out of it, you're going to want to play a thing anyway. Yeah. So it's alright that you're doing it during your turn only.
Yep.
So, this is good. I like this one. This is the only, I guess Flame Scroll was a white card too, but this is the mono white card, and I had to put the mono white card in here because mono white is mono white, so we gotta anything mono white can get is a bonus, I think. All right, so it's Pilgrim of the Ages, 2 and a white for a creature spirit. It's a 2/1, so it's already it's got a shitty 2/1 for 3. But read it a little bit here. It says, when Pilgrim of Ages enter the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic plains, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle. You can also return it from the graveyard to your hand for 6 mana. So this is about as good as white gets for ramp. This is as good as you're gonna get. So I wanted to add it in here. You're getting a little you're getting, plains ramp. You can technically do it more than once because you can return it to your hand, play it out again, get another land. It's better than nothing. Mono white players are rejoicing about this mediocre card.
I feel like this is just card advantage. and it's just landed, being able to for sure make sure that you can hit your land drop. It's not even ramp, really.
Yeah,
it's card advantage.
This card would actually be like pretty decent if the spirit had flying, because then it's at least a flyer.
Right. But
so if you're in like blue-white flyers or something, and you want this for like a little bit of like guaranteed land drops, I could see that. I've put this here because I like it. I think it's cool because mono white's underrepresented. This probably doesn't see any play though, if I'm being honest. So it depends. It depends. If you're in white, you're probably having a lot of artifacts, so like that 6 mana probably isn't as unattainable as you might think. So
yeah, I can see this as something that more budget. More budget.
Definitely a pretty good budget card actually, because if you're playing budget, you're gonna have more basic planes too.
Yeah.
So like you just have more hits with it.
Yeah. So. You'll actually get some value out of it if you're more of a budget deck. Which doesn't mean that it's not gonna go in only those, right? So.
100%. So those were my 5 interesting for me non-legendary cards out of Strixhaven. I do have some honorable mentions here just because there's a lot of cards. My honorable mentions are going to be the commands.
Oh.
So in this set, there's 5 like houses for the School of Mages, which are all the 2-color combos. Ignore the rest of this after Command Tower. All the commands are the style of like they have multiple modes.
Yeah.
That you get to then choose 2 of, and a lot of them are really good.
Yeah. I'm reading some of this.
I'm gonna zoom in a little bit just so we can see the text a little better.
Yeah.
The one that has been seeing a lot of play that I've seen so far in like historic standard is the Prismari one. Deals 2 damage to any target, which is really cool. This is target player draws 2 cards. So I saw someone mill someone else out using this card to make them draw 2 cards. It was amazing. And then it's also like you can ramp with this too. If you just like, I only need one of these things, but I could just like make a treasure token for later.
Right.
That one's really like the blue-green one is really good. Countering artifacts or enchantments are just like, there's some really powerful enchantments in EDH that like if you can make sure they don't hit the table so they get like a turnaround, that's really good. Also the one that's kind of underrated I think for the blue-green is target player shuffles up to 3 cards from their graveyard into their library. You just like main deck or like accessible and flexible graveyard hate without like Bajuka Bog or an artifact or something.
Right.
So yeah, I wanted to talk about all the commands because they all are very interesting and very flexible. And flexible is something that you like to be in EDH, just because there's so many different things going on the table. If you can have choices, that's always good.
Right. And this is something that like most decks are going to be able to find, especially because most decks nowadays are at least 2-colored. So
yeah, 2-color for sure. Yeah, and a lot of them are just like, if you don't like one of the modes, at least 2 are going to be useful in your deck, and you choose. So like I think all of these are very good. Only 3 of them are instants, so these 2 are sorceries here, so you're gonna have to play around that. The mana costs are all a little different, so it kind of just depends on what you want, but I like these. They're very useful. Other honorable mentions I had: Double Major. Copy target creature you control, except it isn't legendary.
Wait, what?
When I first saw this, I thought this was Splinter Twin. I thought this was just like 2 cards, you win the game. But it's non-legendary, so it's a little less good than I was like, wait, this is a card? It's Splinter Twin. What?
This is insane, though.
This is very good, though. There's a lot, like, I can't think of any at the top of my head for some reason. There's a lot of legendary creatures that just, like, if you had to, you would just gas all day long.
Yeah. This is crazy.
It's in blue-green Muldrotha, bringing 2 things back a turn. Feels kind of good. Yarok the Desecrated.
Oh no!
Quadruple ETBs. Yes, please.
No.
Atraxa, double proliferate every turn. Feels kind of good.
Simic, why?
Generic blue-green good stuff. Yes, sir. This doesn't have to be a legendary creature like Critterhoof. This in response, like, hell yeah.
Wow. That's insane.
Blue-green good stuff is always a deck, and it always will be. This is a good card. It's 2 mana.
Yeah, it's 2 mana.
And it's not even like copy that, exile it at the beginning of the next end step. You just have it.
Yeah.
This card's nuts.
Wow. Okay. All right.
I don't want to talk about it too much. I'm going to come up with a bunch of evil ideas.
I mean,
all right.
I spent an entire or when I was, one of my jobs, that's literally all I did was just sit around and think about clone decks. So.
100%.
Yeah, well
this is like you can make it legendary, and then if you have other clone effects, you just use the clone effects on the non-legendary one. Yep. Get 10 of whatever creature you want.
Yep.
This card's gas. This is my favorite card out of Strixhaven.
Harness
Infinity. Let me read it. It's 1 green, black, black, black. So it's 7, and it's hard to cast. And it says exchange your hand and your graveyard. And then it exiles itself. So you know what I immediately thought of? Let me do this real quick. Boom. Boom. Harness Infinity. Exchange your hand in your graveyard. In response, while it's still on the stack, hold priority. Discard your hand, and then just get everything back. Scoop up 40 cards into your hand. Yes, please. This card is so bad. I'm gonna put it in every deck that runs these colors.
Wait, are you gonna make a Sultai deck where you just mill yourself and
Sidisi? Okay, yeah, Sidisi Brood Tyrant, making zombies, discarding stuff, getting it back. You're in black, so you can run. There's, I think Bone Miser is the one where it cares about when you discard a card. It's like when you discard a creature, make a zombie. When you discard a land, make a mana. When you discard a non-land, non-creature, do a thing. Because there's that and Waste Knot are 2 different cards, but one of them cares about your opponents, one of them cares about you. Yeah. But the one that cares about you, that's in this. I was doing research about this the other day, and I was trying to think of things that like care about like that you can play from the graveyard that are in these colors that are very cheap, so you can do it a lot, and there's like not a lot of them.
Yeah.
It's like this is super bad. These 2 cards, because One With Nothing's the worst card ever printed ever. But I'm gonna run it with this card because it's awesome.
I mean, you run it because it's funny, right? It's like running Mass Manipulate.
This is my favorite card. This is probably okay if you're in Sultai, because then you can run like Finale of Revelation, so you have no max hand size. So then you can just pick up your graveyard and then not have to discard.
Right.
Or if you just like play a Reliquary Tower, like you're gonna like have one of those in EDH most likely anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, this card's not gas, but it's awesome. The next on my honorable mentions list are all of the Elder Dragons that are in this set. You should look them all up. They're all really cool. They're all the same 2 colors that the commands are. They all have very cool and interesting effects, but I'm gonna point out this one specifically because it's awesome. So it's Galazeth Prismari. It's 2 for blue and a red with flying. He's an Elder Dragon. He's a 3/4. It says when he enters the battlefield, create a treasure token. And he also says artifacts you can have. Add 1 mana of any tap to add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana to only cast an instant or sorcery spell. But this is Urza. This is Urza, but he's red now. You put Winter Orb and Torpor Orb in the deck, and you can tap him for mana on the end step before your turn, and just lock people with this card. And, also your treasure tokens you don't have to sack. You just make mana.
Right, you can just tap them for mana.
You also, so like, this is like, Urza is now this, but you don't make a construct. Oh well, who gives a shit? He's also not a mana sink, so like, you're gonna have to find other ones, but there's other ones in these colors.
This is more of a, I'd see this as more of a artifacts with, instants and sorceries.
With like, it's like a spell slinger artifacts deck kind of thing. Yeah. There's a red dragon that it's what's it called? Gold Span Dragon. It's a 5-drop that makes your treasures give you 2 mana. So that's in this, I'm pretty sure too.
Okay.
So I just saw this and I'm like, wait, that's Urza, but he's red and a dragon.
Yeah, I definitely see that.
Probably not exactly as like suffocating as Urza Stacks is, because it's, you have like the construct comes in and he's a big boy and you have the mana sink, but I feel like this, like, Urza's probably in this deck too.
Yeah, Urza could go in this deck.
Because like you can run this as your commander to have the access to the other color for other like utility based like burn spells and like dragons and stuff to have more threats, but then also have like you basically have Urza with a little bit of redundancy now, because you can have this effect where you can tap artifacts for mana that don't tap for mana,
right?
Just like more often,
right?
So this is sick. Plus he's a dragon. Cool. That's sick as fuck. So my last card here is my personal favorite commander that I'm interested in building. This my boy here, Extus Auric Overlord. He was the first commander that is double-sided that is a sorcery on the back.
Oh.
There have since been others revealed. There are 3 total, but this was the first, so that's pretty cool. So you're going to be in Mardu for these colors: black, white, red. On the first side, let me finish reading. It's 1 white, black for a legendary human warlock. He is a 2/4 with double strike, and he has Magecraft, and he says whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, return target non-legendary creature from your graveyard to your hand. Backside says it is called Awaken the Blood Avatar. It's 6 black-red for a sorcery, and it says as an additional cost to cast this spell, you may sacrifice any number of creatures. The spell costs 2 generic less for each. 2 less to cast for each creature sacrificed. And then its effect is each opponent sacrifices a creature, and you create a 3/6 black and red avatar token with haste. And it has whenever this creature attacks, you deal 3 to each opponent.
Oh, that's just on attack trigger.
It's on attack trigger, and he has haste, so you're just gonna get it if you cast. So it's gonna be like, what the ideas I was thinking of is going to be weird Mardu, like small guys, but also instants and sorceries. It just seems interesting to me. There's like so many different ways you can go with this card, right? Because you can kind of like pseudo cheat the backside into play. You can play a bunch of small dudes. You can have them die and do some spell slinging with the front side out as your commander to get them back, and then you can replay them all, and then you can cast the backside multiple times for cheap when you're playing all these small cheap guys.
Right.
So I was thinking of this is like cheap 2-drops that like make a dude when they enter, or when they die they make a token, so you just like keep having creature fodder to cast this over and over and just like group slug people to death. It sounds interesting to me, and I don't have a deck that's in these colors yet, so if there's something that I build, this is probably going to be it, just because it's interesting and cool, something different.
Right. Yeah, that is pretty cool. I think it's interesting that it's a double-sided commander, basically, so that's pretty interesting.
There's been a couple of double-sided commanders recently, because Kaldheim had the ones that are god that are also fact on the back, so that's been cool, but that's been at least like it's a different permanent type. This is the first that's like a sorcery, like a non-permanent type spell that's in your command zone, which is just interesting.
Right. There
are 2 others, like I said before, that have been spoiled since then. One is like the pet guy, or pests is what they're called, because that's like a creature type now in Strixhaven. They're the little guys, when they die you gain a life, and he's like the legendary one. I don't remember what he says, but he's a sorcery on the back as well.
Okay.
This is cool. Blood Avatar's cool. If I make the deck, I'm gonna get 2 copies of this, so I don't have to take it in and out of the sleeve every time I want to cast it. I was like, I'm gonna cast this one, but they're not partners. It's just the same card twice.
So you're gonna be able to make this before we actually move into playing in person?
I don't know. I'm kind of holding off on building stuff because standard rotation is coming up in a couple of months, and when standard rotates, there's always a lot of cards that get cheaper because people they can't run all the cards that they have been running because a lot of stuff rotates, which means a lot of stuff will be less sought after, right, and stuff will be cheaper. So That's probably what I'm waiting for. Plus, then since it's a couple of months away, we're gonna have some I think a additional release in that time. So that'll just be more cards for me to choose from for this. So.
Oh, you can stop your stream now.
Ah, cool, sick. Boom.
When were we getting together and playing again? It's like somewhere in May, right?
Oh yes, I can bring that up right now. It was, I believe, the 8th of May.
8th of May. Something about like 2 weeks, I think. Week and a half, two and a half weeks. Is that 2 weeks?
I'm checking. Scrolling up in the group chat. Scrolling up.
You know.
May 8th, yes sir.
After getting vaccinated, it feels nice to like we're gonna be able to walk up to each other and high five and.
I'm not gonna do that.
Oh,
sorry.
You're not gonna do that.
Yep,
are we gonna like all just sit at a 6-foot table, 6x6?
Yeah, we're gonna sit on either end of a bathtub.
You excited to be able to play Magic again?
Oh yeah, 100%. Super excited. Magic's the only game I could play every day of my life and get triggered at, not get salty. Because I'm a super salty bitch, so. Finding a game that doesn't put me in that mood is 100% what I'm going for.
Oh man. I'm excited to play Magic again. I haven't touched a Magic card in so long.
I'm excited to just do anything.
I am too, dude.
We could just go and like do nothing. Like we don't have to play Magic. I'm just excited to just leave,
dude,
my place.
Bro, what are you talking about, man? Quarantine's got you on a new addiction, right? See?
An unhealthy RuneScape addiction.
An unhealthy RuneScape addiction. Yeah, let's give a little background on that. Jeez, I can't believe that. I've never played Rune. I don't think you've ever played RuneScape either.
No.
Yeah, so we've never played RuneScape, and I've like in the past never thought that I would ever play RuneScape. And look at us now.
I had friends in middle school that like had bots set up to do stuff. I'm like, you guys are weird. I'm not playing that. I'm like actively killing blue dragons right now. So.
Oh my god, dude, when did we start? I think we started in February, I want to say.
Something like that, yeah.
Right? We've been playing for 2 months, and we've already.
We're doing Chambers of Xeric pretty frequently.
Right.
You just got your
got
magic level high enough in order to do that, yeah.
Oh my goodness, dude. Friday night was insane. We just bone ran all night for an hour and a half.
And if you don't play RuneScape, that sounds like a euphemism.
Oh my goodness.
I would suggest that people give it a try. I'm gonna say what the people that got us into RuneScape. If you want to try it out, do look up guides on how to complete Dragon Slayer 1. It's a quest, and if you enjoy that experience, then consider like picking it up, like being a member, stuff like that. It's super fun. If you like watching the number go up is just like super satisfying for you. You should play a little RuneScape. It's pretty fun. You just watch the numbers go up, leveling up all your skills and stuff.
It's a nice thing to like do on the side too if you enjoy watching streams and stuff.
Yeah,
because, like,
I do a lot of watching
always
streams,
have to you don't always have to pay attention to what you're doing in RuneScape, which is nice.
But there's also times where like if you want like some like I want to do quests and I want to solve puzzles and I want to explore the world and kill cool monsters. You know, a game that I can engage. You can engage with it as much or as little as you want, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what's really nice about that.
Plus, like, so many people play RuneScape. Like, you could just like stumble upon people that you're gonna end up hanging out with all the time.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Yeah.
The community's a little toxic, but like,
no.
Have you heard of League of Legends? Like, it's not that bad.
It is, but I've also seen like a lot of people that are just super nice too. So.
It is true.
So it's like, I don't know. It reminds me of back in the day when I played PSO, Fantasy Star Online. Because that's what it reminds me of. Because you would log into a server and you just see a bunch of people sitting in the lobby talking to each other. That's literally the Grand Exchange. It's just people sitting there. So that's what that reminds me of.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Social gatherings, man. I miss those days.
We're gonna get back to the arcades soon. We're gonna have to. We didn't talk about it all. We're big into going to arcades and doing them games and stuff. So we're gonna have to talk about that on future episodes as well. Super excited for those again.
Dude, I'm so excited to go back to an arcade. Oh my god, I haven't been on one since, I think last time I went was in March, right before the pandemic. Like right before the pandemic broke out and everyone was like, "Hey, we're quarantining." Like I went one time beforehand.
Yeah. I think the last like big thing that I was at was when we went to the anime convention.
Oh yeah, the anime convention. Yeah.
And that was what, like?
That was February.
It was February, yeah. So it was right before all the stuff started going down.
Yeah.
That's truly what I'm excited for too. Going to cons and stuff again. Like we have friends out, different state than we are, that have a big con that they go to. So meeting up with all those guys and doing that's gonna be super fun as well.
Oh my god, dude! I haven't been in a con since last year. Oh, this is crazy. I used to go to like 2 or 3 of them per year.
It's a lot of cons.
Dude, it was yeah, it was pretty crazy. Like, I don't know. I enjoyed the con experience. It's so much.
Yeah,
fun.
it's just an excuse to get into some bullshit with the boys.
Yeah, it's fun to hang out with like all your friends and just be in an environment that like other people are, also into the thing that you're into.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're going there and like, oh, it's kind of nerdy. Yeah, so are the rest several thousand people. Like very cool.
My favorite part though is walking through the hotel. Like
yeah,
walking through the hotel full of like what we considered normal people, and then having all of these like anime gamer geeks all just in this like fancy hotel is the funniest thing ever. Oh my god.
The last one we went to, people were there. There was a theater in the hotel. They were there to see an opera.
Oh yeah.
I walked through with like my League of Legends Teemo hat on, and like several body pillows were being carried. It was the greatest experience I think I've ever had. God, seeing the looks on all the boomers, they're like, "What?" And we're like, "Yeah, we're on the top floor. Suck my ass."
I also I also thought it was funny seeing your reaction to a big city, because that was the first time you were in a big city. Yeah.
I was like, "Why is the highway going on top of itself?" What?
Yeah. Oh man.
That was something else. Can't wait to do that again.
I'm excited. I can't wait. Holy moly.
What else?
You got anything else you want to talk about, dude?
I've talked for way too long.
I guess the last thing that I was to talk about is, man, dude, I'm so tired. I actually am still really tired. I got a bunch of energy to do this, and then as this time has gone on for this last, hour we've been recording now, I've just slowly lost energy because of the
You only streamed for 11 hours yesterday.
Dude. And then it all ended in a soft lock. Oh my god, dude.
It was unfortunate.
It was so sad. Anyway, I guess we should probably wrap things up here.
I was gonna say, yeah. Speaking of stream,
you got some Clash to do, don't you?
We do. Playing in a League of Legends Clash tournament right after the time of recording here. Pretty fun.
Well, want to thank everyone for listening in on the Friendgame podcast.
Episode 1.
Yeah, episode 1.
Popping the cherry.
Where can they find you?
I am Jabba, Jabbah 2K on Twitter, and then Jabba 2000, like 2000 Twitch. On Twitch? I stream very infrequently.
But it's there.
So if you wanted to follow my Twitter to see, that's where you would.
All right. And you can find me. I'm Avi956 on Twitter. And then I am Avi9 on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Avi9. AVIY9.
He streams very frequently. Go follow him first.
I try and stream on a more frequent schedule, but it's not consistent enough personally. Anywho, yeah, that's where we're gonna end it today, guys. Thank you very much for listening in on this. We're gonna try and do this every at least every week. So we'll have a new episode next week as well. If you know, what's a question of the day? Think of it.
Question of the day. What we talked about our origin story as far as gaming goes. So what if you want to leave like your favorite game from childhood? I want to know what they are.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, leave a comment down below on what your favorite game from your childhood is, and if you guys enjoyed this, leave a like and subscribe. Potentially subscribe to us. Signing off here. Have a good night, or good morning, or good day.